Okay, this is going to be a relatively quiet video. Not going to be a lot of narration. I'll just start with a few facts. The fact is, this is the tomb or the mausoleum of Leland Stanford, his wife, and his son, Leland Stanford Jr. Later in the video, I'll be showing the monument to Leland Stanford Jr. But as far as I know, or so we're told, only 3 corpses, skeletons at this point, are in this mausoleum. The mausoleum is constructed out of granite, marble, and iron. As far as I can tell, those are the only 3 components of this mausoleum: granite, marble, and iron. As you can see, there's Egyptian sphinxes, male and gender, in the front. I'm going to take a step over here and show you guys this statue here. Now, the interesting thing about the statue is at night it appears to levitate due to the fact that the pedestal is the same shade as the path. So if you're over there at night and you stand afar, it'll appear to levitate. Dedicated to science and the good of humanity. Maybe at the time, maybe that was the intention, maybe not. And here we have the foundations of a good civilization: crafts, science, astronomy, unknown, can't tell, something else, pause it, I don't care. I believe that's Leland Stanford, his son, and Leland Stanford's wife. We're going to take a step over here to the rear of the mausoleum after showing the detail of the side. As you can see, perfect symmetry, Romanesque columns, no expense spared. Here we have the female sphinxes. Very beautiful, very artistically done. As you can see, a very, very grand mausoleum. One of the nicest mausoleums I've ever seen. Once a year, they open up this mausoleum for a select few. I believe in April of every year, a select few people get to step inside this mausoleum. And every Halloween, there's a huge party as well, but you have to have an invitation. I've never been invited. I always found it interesting how there was 2 males and 2 females. Perfect balance. Notice the detail on the claws. Another interesting thing about Leland Stanford is that he was the governor of California. 1861, I believe. He was referred to as a robber baron. Robber barons are a little out of fashion now, but I guess we would call them nowadays, we would call them captains of industry or a corporate leader. So that's all with the mausoleum. Short distance down the trail, you come to what's commonly referred to as the Weeping Angel statue. The statue was put in memory of Leland Stanford Jr. He died, I believe, at the age of 12 from diphtheria or typhus, I'm not sure. I always like the points on the end of the gate, extra sharp, to deter any trespassers. But it has almost a whimsical look to it. I've never seen spikes like that at the top of a gate. As you can see, they wrap around, beautifully landscaped and manicured. Almost no flaws whatsoever. Now this is not a grave. Leland Stanford Jr. is in the mausoleum that I just showed. This is just merely a monument to his existence. Keep in mind that this area here is essentially the front yard of the Stanford campus. Stanford University is one of the largest landowners in the area, and due to that fact, they have left large amounts of Silicon Valley untouched and undeveloped. So at least we can thank them for that. This large area you see is their front yard, essentially. We haven't even got into the campus yet. One more view. Just to kind of take it in one more time, as I probably won't be doing another video in this area. Feel free to do research on Leland Stanford's short life and the effect that it had on his father and mother. An interesting fact is that technically Stanford University is named after him. Technically, Stanford University is called Leland Stanford Jr. University. That's the full name of the Education Institute. Beautiful statue. Now this is the main entrance. This is the main quad of the Leland Stanford Jr. University. As you can see here with this memorial arch, erected in 1899. I could obviously say a lot about the architecture and the design and the patterns, the sacred geometry. The symbolism is rich on this campus. But like I said, I'm going to keep the narration to a minimum and just kind of let you, the viewer, take it all in and come to your own conclusions. As you can see, checkered floor, beautiful pattern extends throughout the halls, and what seems to be never-ending arches. As I stated in the live stream the day that I recorded this, it would take hours to show all of the old world construction. It's truly a little overwhelming for one video. So I will probably be returning here to do more live streams and to film more videos. You just simply have to be there to understand how vast and grand this campus is. There's a lot to take in. I've actually spent a lot of time on this campus, and even as a young boy, I always felt a little strange here. Not in a bad way necessarily, but nonetheless a little strange. There's a certain aura. There's a certain je ne sais quoi about this place. Unfortunately, I didn't feel it the day that I felt this. I felt this different feeling. I did feel a bit uneasy, to be honest. I didn't feel as optimistic as I usually did when visiting this campus. Not to say that that feeling won't return eventually, but on this particular day, there was a certain uneasiness. As you can see, arches, arches, arches. I want the viewers to consider how difficult it was in 1899. Well, sorry, let me correct myself. I believe this construction is actually a little older than 1899, but nonetheless, I want the viewer to consider how difficult it would be to create so many perfect arches, one after the other. Think about the amount of work that went into this. Think about what it must have looked like. Now, I might do a separate video where I try to find some archival photos of the construction. If anybody knows where I can find photos like that, feel free to leave a link in the comments. And this water fountain I thought was particularly interesting. Obviously, Middle Eastern or Moroccan or some other Eastern influence. Now this courtyard is interesting too. This courtyard is very large. I don't know if the video does it justice to see just how strange and grand it is. Also notice the hearts. The hearts in the arches at the base of the arch at the top of the column. I don't know if you notice that there's thousands of hearts all over this campus. Just a simple little detail, I suppose, that might be overlooked by the everyday passerby. Here we are approaching the Main Cathedral. Notice the grand and intricate mosaic. Notice the sacred geometry in the foreground. Notice the gold leafing and the almost immaculate condition of the mosaic. Also the stained glass. Also, if you notice, there's a sort of miniature of what we just saw there with the arches and columns. I believe the depiction is that of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. Now, what we'll see here with these arches, it's different than the other arches, is that these arches have even more intricate design. They have an almost lace-like quality to them. Unfortunately, I was unable to go inside due to various reasons. Here we have some cherubim angels. And that's about it. Thanks for watching.